Good morning, students, and welcome to another amazing week of classes. I join you this morning with my cup of coffee, and on the front you can see there's a beautiful bird there. That is a titmouse. And the reason I selected a bird as our theme this morning is because most of you are joining me from the Rio Grande Valley, from the lower Rio Grande Valley. Now I know some of you are from afar. Thank you for joining us, but most of you live in the RGV and are joining me here at South Texas College directly. And this area, this region that we're living in, is actually of major importance to birds. It's actually a migration corridor, a migration pathway for birds all over North America, Central America, and South America. It's actually a convergence zone. So a great amount of biodiversity in this region. It's environmentally important. It's important in terms of nature tourism and economics. So that's the reason for the bird. But of course, we have some motivation associated with this as well. So on the back is the quote. I'm going to hold it up for you so you can read it. And it reads, a bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking, because her trust is not on the branch, but on her own wings. So let's talk about that quote. I love it. It's a fantastic quote. So what it means, of course, is that we have to have trust and belief in ourselves and not on anything or anyone else per se. Because in life, things change constantly. The only constant we know is change, right? Situations and circumstances change all the time. Political, economic, social, our personal lives actually change continuously. It's part of being a human being. And so I'm not saying that you don't want to have connection. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you need to have belief in yourself, because you don't want to become too dependent on any particular individual, whether that is, your parents or a significant other, friends, coworkers, a boss, professors, teachers, society. You don't want to put all your eggs into them and all your belief and trust into them. You need to be putting all your belief and trust into yourself, right? And the same thing with situations. You could take any one of you and you could say, well, today I understand my biology instructor. Today I understand biology. But tomorrow, maybe not so much. Today, I have a job. Tomorrow, maybe I won't. Today, maybe all of us are married. We have a spouse, but maybe tomorrow we won't. So circumstances change, but the only thing that you can be sure of, confident on, is your own self, right? That you can trust in your own self. And that is that you develop these knowledge, skills, attitudes, and perspectives that you know that no matter what comes along, no matter what challenge or obstacle or problem comes your way, you are able to handle it because you can rely on you, okay? Now, how do we develop that confidence? How do we develop that trust in ourselves, right? It sounds so easy to do. Is it easy to do? It's gonna be, all right? Because one of the first steps is, being self-aware. And how do we become self-aware? Well, great for us, one of the ways is you can take a class like this one, EDUC 1300, and we spend a large part of this class learning to become self-aware, taking time and energy and effort to really practice, be mindful about ourselves and what we do in our lives, in our schoolwork, in our personal lives, in our social life, in our work life, and we really take time to reflect and to improve. So being self-aware is part of it. Another part of developing this confidence is actually becoming educated in many different ways. You can become educated, of course, by going to college, but you can also become educated by having life experiences. And it's essentially, to me, the composite of those two areas. So we can develop knowledge and skills in different areas. We can develop hard skills. And here at STC, you're going to be developing, your speaking skills, your writing skills, your technology skills, your quantitative math skills, all of the cognitive cognitive areas, all of the subjects that we have at this college, you're developing those hard skills. And we're also developing, again, in college and in the real world, in the world of life, we can develop soft skills. And those are things like developing your communication and your interpersonal skills, your teamwork skills, your work ethic, your attitude, your empathy, your assertiveness, your ability to manage yourself and your emotions, right? That's all part of it too. So we can develop those skill sets, both hard and soft. And another component of all of this is trying things. You've got to be willing to try things, okay? Try, and sometimes, you know what? You're gonna fail, and it's okay. That's part of building confidence. If you never try, you're always going to be afraid. So you always need to try, and you have to be willing to fail and fall on your, face, and then pick yourself back up. The only thing you don't want to do is don't not try, and don't not pick yourself back up. Okay, so we've got to do all three of those things, We've got to become self-aware, we've got to develop our knowledge and skill sets, and we've got to also try things. And once we do all of that, we really have developed that confidence and that belief in ourselves. So no matter what problem, no matter what issue comes our way, whether it's a financial problem or a relationship problem or a world problem, what's going on the world stage, it doesn't matter what comes at us. We know that we have the knowledge and the skills and the perspectives and the tools and the resources all within us to be able to manage it, to be able to handle it. So when we go back to our beautiful, beautiful titmouse, right, and we think of the quote, it doesn't matter about the branch. The branch can be there, the branch cannot be there, it can fall, it can break. It doesn't matter. Because the trust is in the wings. And just like us, the trust is in our brains and our minds and our hearts, okay? So with that Monday motivation in mind, let's have an amazing week.